I'm not sure if you're on the line. We're going to project your presentation just now. Beauty, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Thank you very much. Beauty, before we allow you to sort of present, just as I said initially at the beginning, we don't know who Beauty is. Just tell us in a short couple of sentences who you are, what makes you wake up in the morning, what makes you rise and shine, who inspires you, who's your mentor, any one of those questions you can answer.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, I must just say I've been waiting. Now I'm greeting you from Mohair, South Africa in Port Elizabeth, together with my colleague Sandile. I don't know if everyone can see him. We just appointed him in increasing the capacity of the Empowerment Trust. Yeah, Beauty, it takes us back to 2003. So I'm not originally from the Eastern Cape, and I'm doing well for the Eastern Cape province. But it takes us back when I came as a young rural girl back in 2003, coming to study agriculture at the special, I still respected the institution, Grootfontein College of Agriculture, coming not knowing anything about the breed itself, Angora goat or wool. And the passion started there, the knowledge, the experience. So I studied there, and I served the same institution for 10 years. So I worked closely with the students for years, and the farmers as well through the extension program, education and training. So my passion is developing young people. My passion is empowering, and we worked closely with the stakeholders, including the Mohair South Africa, while I was still serving Grootfontein. And one wanted to grow, and I saw the opportunity in the Empowerment Trust, and I think Grootfontein prepared me very well. I mean, if I may share with you, so when I received the application or the submission from Grootfontein saying, when you come this side, Beauty, make sure you bring 2 pairs of overalls, because you're going to spend most of the time as a student working hands-on. And I must brag a bit that there's no breed that we don't touch or judge or select, or, you know, so really everything started there. And yes, today I'm serving the industry, and proudly for 5 years, I think there's been a really moving stories, and we have touched, we have impacted a lot of lives through the Empowerment Trust. It's really a structure, or maybe I may say, really it's a well done to the industry. It's a structure that really makes our farmers accountable, our farmers bankable, and it makes our farmers farming responsible. We're really prioritizing it. This platform, it gives us an opportunity to pay attention to these farmers. So we treat our farmers very special. I'm going to go through the presentation now, but it's a structure that is moving slowly but surely in making sure that we're commercializing the Black farmers.
Yeah, we bring the presentation up now. You can just also just guide us in terms of the next slide, so you can proceed.
Yes. So today I'll first maybe take us through that. I'm working for Mohair South Africa, and Mohair South Africa is a non-profit organization that represents the whole entire industry internationally and globally. And we involved from the fundamentals of mohair production from farm to fabric. So including the farmers from the farm gate to your brokers, your processors, and the buyers. And we are responsible for advancing the South African mohair industry in South Africa and globally. And maybe I must just also mention that through this work of the Empowerment Trust, last week I spent a week in London representing the Mohair Empowerment Trust and sharing the story of Empowerment Trust. I think that was a huge opportunity for us as the industry, because we managed to share the story to more than 1,000 brands and in person. And I think that was an opportunity, a huge opportunity for us. I'm excited going forward what it will bring, the feedback out of this. So South Africa, it's currently a leader, but globally we have, if these figures are only for 2022, 4.55 million kilograms. I mean, we've been talking wool and we've been talking a lot of production, but It's still a niche industry, and it's very small. If I can give you figures, we only have about 1,000 plus commercial farmers in South Africa. So then this slide now is just showing that, as I mentioned, we are the leader. We are producing from that 4.55 million, we're producing 51% of that production. It comes from South Africa. And interesting is the goat itself is not originally from South Africa. It came to South Africa back in 1838 as a gift from Turkey. And if you look in the slide, Turkey is only producing now 9% of the production. Our neighbor.
We've taken over the market.
Yes, I think you're moving fast. My presentation is very short. You can take your time. Can we go back? And I also want to brag that our neighboring country, Lesotho, is producing 2/3 of our global production, and it all goes through the Mohair South African brokers. And yes, it came as a gift. And if I can tell you the story, it was 12 infertile rams and 1 ewe, and that ewe, fortunately enough, it was pregnant and it gave birth to a ram, and that's how the production started in South Africa. And today we're producing quality, quantity, and there was a lot of work done in making sure that the genetics are improved. Yes, we can move to the next slide. Yeah, coming to Eastern Cape. Eastern Cape remain, it was mentioned many times this morning that Eastern Cape, it's our leader with wool and mohair. If you look at in this map, Eastern Cape is producing 73% of the South African mohair, and the next province is your Western Cape. We can move to the next slide. And just to mention that South Africa produced as we said, 51%. So in South Africa, we have 2 processing plants. I'm not going to mention the Uville-Loboya, but now I've learned a lot today about Uville-Loboya. So, but for the mohair industry specifically, we do have Ustuken and Samel. Those are our 2 processing plants, and this mohair that we're talking about, 51 production, it's processed in South Africa, and it go out of the country in a top. If you look at the picture on your side, this is how it go out of South Africa being processed to go outside. This next slide will explain where we're exporting to. So Italy it's our highest product. That's where it goes 39%. China 26%. And I heard this morning from my brother when he mentioned when they were affected by foot and mouth diseases. We luckily in the mohair industry that is not affecting us, for the fact that production we have these 2 processing plants, so the production gets out of the country being processed, and we're fortunate we had to go on while the wool industry was affected by foot and mouth. So that diseases. We can go to the next slide. Yeah, now this is my story. The Empowerment Trust. The Empowerment Trust was established by the same industry back in 2010. It's now existing for 13 years. And when the child is born, there's always challenges. I think there were a lot of challenges when the project started. There were a lot of projects that didn't work until they focus on commercializing the farmers. So we are now making sure that we're not chasing any numbers, but we identifying farmers that we can make success farming with Angora goats. We have a lot of challenges because working with emerging farmers, it's a developing program. So we do have challenges, but we support our farmers throughout. So we can go into the next slide. So how do we empower the farmers? Why it was established? It was established to promote the Black economic empowerment within the mohair industry in South Africa, to ensure the sustainable supply of mohair by establishing the large scale of mohair producers. As I said, our aim is to commercialize the emerging farmers, to establish the Black participants and entrepreneurs in the same industry, to commercialize the Black farmers within the mohair industry. How do we do that? So our responsibility as the Empowerment Trust Office, we identify those farmers that have an access to a land. And as I mentioned earlier, we're really not focusing in many numbers. We try to identify at least one farmer a year and try to make success in the next 5 years. So we do that by providing goats via the interest-free loan. So the farmers, we don't give them money. Once the farm is being identified and it goes to the trustees, my trustees, if I may mention, within our trustees, we do have a Black farmer that sit and represent the emerging farmers. We have 2 officials from the National Agricultural Marketing Council that is representing the Government of Agriculture, and we have then we have representatives from the whole industry. So I report to those trustees, and once the farm has been identified, the farm that, I must make this one clear, the farm that can make success farming with this Angora goat. So I think we all know that Angora goat, it has its own environment. So the trustees are very strict in approving an application that is outside the historical environment of Angora goat. It's unfortunately, it's mostly in the Karoo. So once that has been presented to the trustees and approved, we then start looking for the goats according to the carrying capacity of that specific farm. Through this process, we build the mentorship, the relationship. We buy from our own commercial farmers, trying to buy from the neighboring farmers. And with this farmer, because the farmer has to pay the money back to the Empowerment Trust. I mentioned it's an interest-free loan. We don't give them money, we buy them goats. How are they paying back? They pay 25% of production every 6 months when the goats are shown. So we share the goats twice a year, every 6 months. So when we're buying the goats, we then expect the same the first payment after 6 months. And that's where the challenge is, but I think I'm going to talk about the challenges later. So the minimum of goats that we are buying as a trust to these farmers, at least is 200 minimum, with the aim of getting to more than 1,000. And again, it's a challenge. We're really not having this carrying capacity. Our emerging farmers don't have this land, and we're struggling to get to 2,000. We can't get to the maximum of 2,000. So then it's a 5-year contract. The farmers are paying 25% of every production sold to their own brokers. As I mentioned, we work with all our brokers. A farmer chooses his own broker, and we work with all of them. So the 25% will be paid back to the trust by the broker. I don't have to go to the farmer and say, when are you paying us? Sorry about that, facilitators. I mentioned I've been waiting too long.
That's fine, no problem.
So the 25% in every process, so we measure the progress and the risk. There's a bit of a risk here every 6 months. So the numbers of goats that are bought for these farmers and the production out of them. So because we specialize with the goats and we know exactly how many kilograms are produced by kids, young goats and adults. So we measure our progress every 6 months, but we keep on with our farmers. We have a WhatsApp call, we talk daily, we farm together. I think I must go to the next point of saying what makes it success. It's a training. No, not the same slide, sorry. Can you go back? So there is a training that is involved in this program. So our responsibility again is the training and empowerment. And fortunately enough, as I mentioned, we spent 10 years at Grootfontein specializing with this fiber. So we make sure when our farmers are being informed, trained, we do the aftercare to ensure the successful large scale of mohair producers. I think that makes it so every year we have to budget for training as the farmers are coming into the program. We support and assist the upcoming farmers that are not our partners. We try to support even when they don't qualify for the NET, because it still comes to the same industry. So I'm not sure if I was clear of how are they paying. So they're paying in 5 years, and once the goats are being paid off completely, then we hand over. So the goats belong to the trust, or to the trust until it's been settled. They pay that 25% through the broker, as I mentioned. And once that has been done, then we hand over the goats to the farmer. But we're really not making them feel that it's not their goats. We do it together, we farm together, we visit the farmers anytime. And as I said, during sharing, during kidding, it's part of our business. We visit them, and we then hand over and give the certificate to these farmers, and we speak about them. We have platforms, we have a special Facebook that is just created for these farmers. We have a monthly newsletter that we share our stories. We have we talk about them. Yes, we can move to the next slide. So currently we have about 7 projects that involve, I think now it's more than 5,000, because in each farm I've been counting now this morning, we have more than 100 kids that are born from most of our farmers. And before the end of November, we'll know exactly how many goats we have. So these 7 projects, it involve about 5,000 goats. And we have 6 projects that were settled between 2019 and 2023. As I mentioned, the program is being now existing since 2010. And we managed to settle some projects since 2019. And the MET farmers, if I'm saying MET, Mohair Empowerment Trust farmers, they contribute about at least 18,000 kilograms of mohair per annum. Because we have summer season and winter season. So in a year they contribute that, but we're adding numbers every year. As I mentioned, now we have new kids that are born, which is going to add production. And as the new farmers are coming into the program, it's been mentioned this morning, the responsible mohair standard. There's also responsible wool standard. When the responsible mohair standard was launched in 2020, I think that just when COVID started, it was launched by the industry. Immediately, we made sure that our farmers are being informed, workshopped, they are trained, they understand the whole process. We went into a training, and so that they understand what is it, what does it mean. And then we started the processing, the auditing process with the brokers, and our farmers are being RMS certified as they come in. So we're producing a sustainable mohair, and they're getting the same prices that they deserve as commercial farmers. We do a lot of training. We train farmers, farm workers, students. We still do training with Grootfontein every year. We are now in the discussions with Fort Cox that we want to also get involved there and make sure that there is an annual training. We're really strengthening our relationship with government. As I'm talking today, we always have to attend and appreciate the platforms that are given by government and share our stories, and this is how we build the relationships. We call them our key partners. The land reform, it's our key partner because most of our farmers are leasing the land reform farms. Dr. Da, we are now in discussions of formalizing our relationship with Dr. Da. Mr. Nyokana, there's a lot of work that is done in the Sarabatman, if I may mention, a lot of infrastructure that was taken care in most of our projects. We are formalizing our relationship, we're signing MOUs. And we also have, I must mention few because it's not in my slides. The other key partner that makes it success is our First Rand. First Rand came on board last year. As we tell the story, people love the story, people see the impact, and people want to be part of our story. And First Rand, they heard about MET, and they contacted us, and we shared the story, and now we have a relationship of 5 years. I'm not going to mention money, but it's a biggest support.
It's fine.
Yes, but that was
you're amongst friends, so you can whisper to us outside of the meeting.
Yeah, but we really, so that the aim of the funding was to fast track what we're doing. So what we've done, we settled where we can settle some of the projects, and we improved the genetics through that funding. So last year November, we had our farmers sitting on auction buying good quality rams, ranging from 10,000 to 22,000. And these kids that are born now, they are from these rams, and we're excited to see how the product, and that will definitely influence the price going forward. We are now in the not in the good space in the industry in terms of price. Today, it was yesterday. Yesterday it was a sale, and really we're not doing well, but we're all being affected by the economy. But yes, and I must continue to mention our ECDC. We recently signed, I must brag about this one, signed the MOU, and they just heard about our story sometime, I can't remember, but it's about 2 months back, and they couldn't just wait to build a relationship with us. We took them through our project, and we're really working hard. Sandile that I introduced this morning, he's working hard in making sure that some applications are done through ECDC and ECRDA as well. There are a lot of projects in the Sarabatman that we're working closely with ECRDA. I think we just need to formalize our relationship. The brokers, I mean, BKB, House of Fiber, and OVK, they're really doing a lot of work. So what we do, we make sure that the field agents are attending to our farmers. So we have field agents going to our farmers. If they have to class the goats, or assist in buying goats and selecting goats when we have to replace and sell. So our farmers are given that attention. So in this slide, I'm not really going, as I said, we measure our success every 6 months, but if you need information from previously, we can always share this. This is now the clip that was produced by our current project. We're going fast.
Okay.
Hey, we're running. I think we're running out of time. Everyone had so much of time. Why? Can we go back? And my slide is the last one, I promise. But I think Butukotso, my brother, had a very long time. The 2 hours. Please. So
we give more time to emerging farmers.
I understand. So commercial farmers are not given attention because we're already successful. Anyway, but the numbers that we see is the production from our current project that I said 7 projects. They produce 5,000 in 6 months' time in the summer clip. We're busy now selling the winter clip. We'll have the numbers end of this season. And the settled project that I mentioned, they settled between 2019 and 2023. They produced 3,530 products, and this now goes straight to them. There's no 25% because they settled the only. Now the next one is it's a video. I'm hoping everyone will hear. So we have done this documentary as a story that we shared with a lot of brands. It attracted a lot of people that are interested now by just listening to the farmers about the MET. We can play the video.
The Mohair Empowerment Trust was established back in 2010 with the objective of assisting the Black emerging farmers to become commercial farmers. Angora goats are animals that are sensitive and require attention and dedication. So we look for candidates who grew up on a farm or worked on a small stock farm, or a graduate from Grootfontein College of Agriculture. It was the only college in the country that's specializing with Angora goats. The largest challenge is identifying a farmer that has an access to a suitable land, a land that can sustain at least a flock of 1,500 goats, with the necessary infrastructure in place to meet the responsible Mohair standard. We're currently running about 8 projects, and we have 2 successful farming projects that are now commercial farmers. Once a partner has been approved, we assist them in buying a selection of Angora goats from a good breeding stock. These goats are provided as an interest-free loan which they pay back over a 5-year period. The first 6 to 12 months are challenging as the farmers need to buy medicine and feeds for their own goats, all before they start earning their first income.
Farming with Angora goats is not an easy thing. It can sustain itself when it's very cold.
It's hard. Sometimes they do get sick, and it's where the challenge comes in.
The Empowerment Trust helped us just to introduce the nutrition health program. It came as a solution to all our problems.
When we arrived in this farm, the fences were totally damaged.
Beauty came to the farm and she was with certain things not happy, and we built a very good dumping tank.
It's not easy because this area sometimes is drought prone. So planning becomes very, very important.
Emerging farmers lack economic and social capital that most commercial farmers have. But through the Mohair Empowerment Trust, we support our partners all the way.
The journey's been good, Beauty. It's a lot that you're doing for the black farmer.
The trust came to the farm. He explained everything, how's the Angora working.
Those people allowed me to attend workshops even before I got goats from them. I've been exposed to the industry so that I can understand the industry, the value chain, the marketing of Mohair and everything.
We are calling her Sis B. She's helping, she's organizing everything.
It's a matter of blink of an eye. Beauty is there to assist you.
She doesn't want us to fail.
The training by Dr. Meg, the industry tour has been to that because it enabled us also to network with other farmers.
If it was not for MET, I don't think I would have been in this position or probably been on a farm itself.
They give you something that you don't have. At the end of the day, you can be a farmer.
The South African government is our key partners in supporting us as they offer emerging farmers a 30 years leases on farmlands.
As you can see, we have fields here, but we cannot plow these fields. By the end of this week, we would have lodged our application to get tractors from government so that we don't spend a lot of money buying feed from other farmers.
I hope in this year I'll be having my solar systems. They promise to assist with solar systems.
The future is all about sustainability, so we guide all our partners to become RMS certified as soon as possible.
Oh, RMS, I like the admin.
We do comply to reports.
You must know that when you handle the goat, you must handle them with care.
The animals need to be supplemented just as human beings need to be supplemented.
It wasn't an easy journey because it was something new. RMS enables us not only to look after our animals, it also addresses the living conditions and the working conditions of the people who are very critical to us.
Each of our partners has a vision of how they want to bring about change and upliftment in their own communities.
One of my dreams is to have proper accommodation for the students. They should feel home away from home.
Agricultural economists have said this farm can hold 1,500 goats. If we could have that, we would be very, very happy.
We want to all be part of the full value chain of Angora goats.
I would like to have irrigation, planted pastures where I can lamb what I use.
You know, we want to be the center where we are training students.
As we grow, we would like to see our workers also growing. Because if your workers are not satisfied, then your dream doesn't come through.
To be able to pay the guys who are helping me a share in the farm.
We see ourselves not just taking bags. We want actual bales going to the market.
I would like my children to follow in my footsteps.
If you can have ewes, that can help us a lot. You grow.
The future looks very bright for us on the farms.
We are there, we are trying our best to be on the same level as the commercial farms.
We want to be up there with the top guys, but we know that we might struggle here and there, but we will fall and rise. We will fall and rise until we get there at the top.
Beauty, you can conclude.
I don't know, so from my side, it was not really playing well. I hope everyone experienced the video.
No, we did. We had perfect view on the side.
Okay. No, I appreciate the platform and thank you for acknowledging the work of Empowerment Trust and giving us opportunity today to share our story. I just want to end by saying it is a working model, and just we have a limit. The land is still a challenge. The capital with our farmers is still a challenge, and we also have a hard water diseases that is also a challenge. But we really moving forward. Just to share the success story of 2023, we managed to produce in one project 4 tons of mohair in a year, and the same farmer qualified for the Miyuki competition. Miyuki competition, it's a competition that is sponsored by a brand in Japan that encourages the best clip of mohair, and the same farmer qualified for that. It's the first time a black farmer qualified for Miyuki competition in the country. So it's only the best 10 producers in the country that qualify for that competition. And as I mentioned, the MET was given an opportunity to present in a textile exchange in London. And we have seen our farmers getting the same prices, achieving the good prices, 445 per kilo. As I said, it's just that the market at the moment it's not really good, but we're seeing a movement. So it's a working model, and let's collaborate. The future is in our hands. Thank you so much.